From the Galesburg Community Foundation, we have Josh Gibb, who's our president and CEO. Hi, Josh.
Good morning. How are you?
Great. How about you?
I'm great, thank you.
And DeAnne Bloomberg, vice president of programs, who's here to talk about the Community Fund Grant Cycle. Welcome, DeAnne.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you as well, Vanessa.
Yeah, us ag hats are back in the saddle.
Yes.
Love it. DeAnne, remind people a little bit about yourself.
So I just started with the Galesburg Community Foundation February 2nd. Wrapped up my career with Illinois Farm Bureau after serving county farm bureaus prior to that. And I can't tell you how excited I am. And I feel young again, quite honestly. So as you
awesome.
turn down the board because of my loud laugh.
That's
Sorry
okay.
about that,
It's
Vanessa.
infectious. I love it. It's so glad to have you in agriculture. Definitely our smaller communities around here, you're so used to that with where you're from.
Yeah, it's such a great fit coming to the Galesburg Community Foundation. And when you see all the good that is happening within the foundation, and especially in these communities, that's what's been so exhilarating for me, is just being involved in so many of the meetings with the community fund advisory boards and working with Sarah and seeing what good happens when everybody works together and with great ideas and synergy.
Okay. And Josh, of course, remind us of your vision and remind us about the Galesburg Community Foundation and what you do for our local communities.
Yeah, so the Community Foundation is a foundation that serves all of Knox, all of Warren, all of Henderson counties. And really what kind of guides us, what drives us is how do we allow people within those three counties or who are connected to those three counties create charitable legacy for themselves, create charitable vision, really support the nonprofits that mean something to them. And one of the ways in which we have tried to really, pursue that is creating what we call community funds, which are technically called geographic field of interest funds. But what they are is they allow groups from these individual communities, so Roseville, Monmouth, Alexis, Williamsfield, Knoxville, to come together to really build permanent endowment for the nonprofits that serve their communities and make grants to those nonprofits to allow the missions of those nonprofits to better serve those communities. And it gives sort of like dual purpose, right? There's grant dollars that are going out, but it's fueled by the generosity of the people that care about those communities. So again, I think everybody on your listenership will remember, I'm from Roseville. I love Roseville. Even if I'm not living in Roseville, I still care about what's going on in town. I care about the way the business fronts look. I care about what's happening with the food pantry and our people in town being fed. You can take me out of Roseville, but you can't take Roseville out of me. And I think the community funds give this opportunity for those that care about their communities to give, and then it gives the people who are in those communities a tool to support what's important in the communities for the people of the communities.
Okay. Well, we share a common vision with that food pantry. We have Halfway to Freezing for Food coming up. And one of our recipients, of course, is the Roseville Helping Hands Food Pantry. So these community funds, tell us about the recent annual Community Fund Grant Cycle.
Yeah, so we just wrapped that up, and checks went out in the mail yesterday. And so it was incredibly rewarding to see the community fund advisory boards come together and make those decisions. And if you take a look around your community, one that was supported by all 5 community funds was the Loving Bottoms Diaper Project. And that is really making sure that those families that need those diapers get to them. So there's a lot of charitable giving there. Talking about your downtown and the square and how great it looks. Even there, you take a look at the synergy that's happening with the Monmouth Beautification Committee, with the City of Monmouth, and well as the Chamber of Commerce, as well as it's the Monmouth Beautification Fund. That is one of the projects that was funded, and it is Christmas pole lighting. So that is something really to look forward to. I mean, I see this downtown and I see just a little bit of Hallmark Christmas movie, if we can write that storyline. And there's been a lot of support for the Rainbow Riders, for their new saddles for those riders. So there's just a lot. The Roseville Kids Place has been supported generously by the Roseville Community Fund. So a lot of good is happening in this community and communities surrounding.
Okay. And let's talk then about some of the examples you just gave. You have another annual grant cycle, the Turnout.
Yes, the Turnout Grant cycle will open July 1 this year, which is new. And people can go to our website, www.yourgcf.org, and take you right there and learn more about it. One of the prerequisites this year is that every not-for-profit applying needs to sit down with me. This gives me an opportunity. I've been doing a lot of backgrounding, getting to know a lot of the not-for-profits in the region, but an opportunity for me to sit down with them and also help them with any questions they have as they get that grant application, and really kind of take care of some of those things that up on the front end. And that runs through July 15th.
Okay, so July 1 to July 15.
Correct.
And people apply on your website.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the turnout, about how many dollars are we talking? This is a big one.
Yeah, so it's an interesting grant cycle, and it's run different than I think a lot of other funders, right? I mean, the Community Foundation takes its responsibility of being a source of grant dollars really seriously. We also really kind of lead with, what we don't know is something that we want to figure out, right? So we try not to make assumptions, and so our granting process is really filled with experts and people who have community perspective, and another reason why these community funds make such a big impact, because their advisors are who are driving the grant decisions. It's not the Community Foundation like DeAnne and I, it's the individuals from the communities. The Turnout is an interesting cycle because what we do is it's 100% funding. So if you apply to the grant cycle of the Turnout and you are awarded, you are either you're going to get everything that you asked for. The foundation created this cycle several years ago now, really with the humility of saying, who are we to tell a nonprofit that they can do this program for less than what they ask us for, right? If they're going to ask us and we have the dollars, we should give it to them. And so the amount that comes out of the Turnout cycle sort of varies based on what individual nonprofits ask us for. So that's a little bit hard. What's unique about that cycle is it's not just the foundation. The Community Foundation has resources that our board really gets to direct, but we have another fund type that we call donor advised funds, and we incorporate all of our donor advised funds into this grant cycle too. And what a donor advised fund is it allows an individual to connect to what's important to them. So you've got the foundation dollars, you've got these donor advised dollars, and then we also have some dollars called field of interest dollars. So we pull all of that together into this one grant cycle, and so it creates these collaborative revenue streams for these nonprofits that is really kind of unique to our field. And DeAnne has not lived through that yet, but she has lived a lot of Community Foundation life since February 2nd, that's for sure. And I think when she sees that, then she's really going to feel emboldened and youthful about what this region does for the people that care about it and for the nonprofits that serve it so well.
Okay. And DeAnne, for the local community funds awarding 27 grants to charitable organizations, how much money are we talking about here?
So we also have the teacher mini grant. So that is over $50,000 that we did this year through the community funds. The teacher mini grants, just in the United School District, that was supported by the school district, and I got to know my unit districts down here. I'm getting to know more communities.
304.
304. You were exactly right, Vanessa. Along with those community funds that are the Alexis Community Fund, and then the Becky Carlson. There was around just short of $9,000, and those are up to $500 teacher mini grants. So that was an equal share of the community funds as well. Watching, as Josh mentioned, watching how much good is happening when you pull all these charitable giving together, but then helping guide those resources with the volunteers at the forefront, and then all the charitable funds that are included is truly amazing.
Yeah, it is.
And I think, I mean, to be at this stage of my life, if I can say it like that, and having worked in rural communities and having had the Farm Bureau background, I can't think of a better way than to be able to work for this foundation.
You got it. You've got a copy of the upcoming press release for the teacher mini grants awarded to our local educators. It was National Teacher Appreciation Week last week. Let's go ahead and give a shout out to our teachers, at least in our immediate listening area. And that starts with Central Intermediate School through United. DeAnne, if you would like.
Yeah, I mean, if you take a look at knowing all of them in the Monmouth, Roseville, I think it was really interesting to see a lot of these are talking about some STEM work that is being done, as well as helping, you see a lot of teachers needing help with helping these students being able to read, ready to read. And we saw a lot of that was handed out. I look at, the reading bar empowering every student to find their reading superpower. Paula Young decodable reader sets for kindergarten readers. I mean, everything K to 12. A lot of that helping on the front end with the elementary, especially at North Elementary. And then also the piece, I know that when we talk about the ag part of it, Corbin Washer's working drone pilot certification.
Yeah.
So just really good, innovative ideas that these teachers have, and if we can help support those teachers and those students and helping build a ready-to-work workforce down the road.
You got it. This is really good stuff. We're joined by our CEO and president with Galesburg Community Foundation, Josh Gibb, and DeAnne Bloomberg, who is the vice president of programs. We're talking about the recent Community Fund grant cycle and the upcoming Turnout annual grant cycle. Anything else that you want people to know this morning?
I think when it, once again, go to our website and get involved there with the Turnout Grants. If you're interested, you'll be able to book online from there. Just read a little bit further. And also with anything that is happening at the Community Foundation this summer and the work with each of the community funds, and a special shout out to those volunteers that serve on those through the Monmouth Community Fund, Roseville Community Fund, and then, of course, the Alexis Community Fund.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. Thank you so much for coming in.
No, thank you for having us.
Yeah.
These community funds really are a way in which we feel like we can serve these communities and be there, be present, and allow people to really, again, know that they can make a difference
It's a
right where
blessing.
they're at. Yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
You got it. Happy
Yeah.
summer.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I'll see you guys at the fairs.
You
Yeah,
know
for
it.
sure, you will.
DeAnne Bloomberg with us and Josh Gibb.